our Chief Meteorologist, Mark Nelson, who's been tracking Ian, I know today and yesterday.
Yeah,
keeping on top of it.
At 5 p.m. they do a fresh update from the National Hurricane Center, so let's check it out. First, the satellite imagery. The red areas are more intense, colder cloud tops. You can see the circulation pretty clear there, and there's Key West, and it's just about 20 miles southwest of, there's a national park actually there. It's a Dry Tortugas, which is like a big old fort. Pretty neat place actually, but it's very close to that, or about 180 miles southwest of Punta Gorda, Florida. Looks like they notched up the speed another, I think, 5 miles per hour. 120 mile per hour wind. That's a strong Category 3 storm. The category is based on the wind speed there, but the Category 3 is also considered a major storm, and as this thing heads north, it may go to a Category 4, or it might be a strong Category 3, and it looks like maybe about 18 hours from now, maybe a little bit less, it'll probably make landfall somewhere between Tampa and Fort Myers, right in this area. Now, once it does that, the steering currents overhead are really weak up here, so then in the next 24 hours, it only makes it from the coastline to about Orlando, which isn't that far, and when storms slow down, they produce just torrential rainfall. So here's the rainfall forecast from just one of our models. Look at that, as I mentioned in that the piece just before me, anywhere from a foot to maybe close to 2 feet of rain in spots. So yeah, really extreme flooding across Central Florida. A lot of people live in that area as well. Meanwhile, we have a change coming up in our weather. The southwest wind is blowing, and that usually implies, notice the low clouds and fog are gone. That implies there's a weather system approaching, stirring up the air mass, and that is the case. So we're not going to be 83 tomorrow. We're going to be around 70. Notice the flags blowing, a bit of a south wind here. Hey, big deal tomorrow morning, I think, is to watch out for slick streets. I've seen this each time after a long dry spell. Remember, we've got all the summer oils and greases and, you know, the dirt and sediments. And then the roads turn wet, and that's kind of like a slurry. And sometimes during these things, like tomorrow morning, the first rain after a dry spell, you'll even see kind of like a detergent-y look. You know, it'll be kind of foamy along the road. So be very careful during tomorrow morning's commute. Maybe still a few slippery spots midday. And then I think by afternoon with more rain, you know, you start getting things cleared off, and then Thursday should be fine. It's just that first rain after a dry spell. So we think 1/4 to 1/2 inch total rain by the time we finish things up Thursday afternoon. Back to dry again by Thursday afternoon. After that, we don't see another chance of rain until at least Wednesday the 5th. So we're going to go another 5 or 6 days without rainfall. It's a weather system out here. There's actually 2 waves of rain approaching. Here's a cold front here. That's what first comes into the metro area in the morning. Then late in the afternoon, the back edge of this thing swings on through as that system approaches. Here's the cloud cover and rain forecast. And you can see, there you are, 7 a.m. Looks wet. Finally, a nice soaking. Maybe a break midday, and then in the afternoon and evening, a second wave of rain comes onshore, and by Thursday afternoon right there, yeah, it's looking pretty dry, isn't it? So there you go. Your Wednesday forecast, look for about 70. Afternoon sun breaks, could be a dry period. I actually have to spray paint a utility trailer. That's my big plan for midday tomorrow, so I'm hoping for a break in there, and you should be able to get a break for running or doing something outside. And then a few light showers Thursday. After that, look at that, summer's coming back for the first weekend of October. Breezy east wind as well. Luckily, the woods will be wet, so that's good news. And then maybe about the middle of next week, some showers again.